Let's get into this every week. We give our picks every week, even in the holiday season. Simon's fellow professional bettors, the wise guys, are going to give us some feedback. So let's get to it. Let's hear some sharp calls.
I have to answer this phone.
Yeah, as always, let's start where we differ. The pros absolutely love Chicago. Most guys I've talked to have taken a position on Chicago. They even like Chicago at the -3. So they totally think Chicago's are a much better team than Detroit right now. A team that is playing for that 2 seed. They think they're going to be massively motivated, and they've been betting it, just thinking that exact way. So that one actually pretty shocked me. I thought Detroit would be the pro side. The public would be all over the Bears, but it seems like the public and the pros are lining up on this Bears team. Another game, I think it's just not on our radar, or maybe I'm just missing it. I wanted to be on Dallas. Every pro I've talked to, they love the Giants here in this spot. They love Dart and what he can do offensively against a Cowboys defense that's just atrocious, especially against running quarterbacks. So I found it really interesting that so many pros think that's going to be a close one. And yeah, that number is a couple times touched 4 again, just got to immediately bet back down to 3.5 at a lot of books. So really interesting, a game that I might simply just be missing. Seattle Seahawks. I cannot believe the pros are hammering Sam Darnold as a favorite on the road in a must-win to get the 1 seed type of game, but they are. I mean, most guys I talk to really like that spot, and they just think this 49ers team is truly a house of cards. How much longer can Purdy and this offense prop up this 49ers team is kind of their view of it. And if you're looking for a team that maybe can stop this juggernaut of an offense, the 49ers, it would be this Seattle defense, right? That's been so dominant on the road. So really interesting game where I thought all of us would be lined up on them, and it's pretty split. For what we did get right, Panthers, like we talked about all week, that came down from 3.5 to 3, now down to 2.5. That's a really smart, sharp side, and I'm glad the pros are on it because I was a little worried when I saw how much money was pouring on that Bucs team. It's like, what am I missing here? But I think we see this number keep dropping. It makes me feel better as our position. And, another game we haven't spent too much time on, but I think is an interesting move by the professionals is that Chargers game. The pros have just been hammering the Chargers.
Yes.
And the number really has not budged. So that's going to be an interesting topic to talk about, where are the books simply just missing it? Are they overrating too much the backups for this Chargers team? And they're clearly taking a stand here, the books. And, I don't think the public, this is a game they're ever going to mess with. I truly think this is just a professionals versus the books type of game, right? The most, Joe public bettors, they're not going to bet too big on the NFL this weekend. So a lot of the money, when you see big money simply on one side, most times if it's a game like this, like a 12.5 point spread, this is going to be professional money. It's not going to be the type of game the public touches here. So I really interested to see where that number goes, Chad, because like I said, the books have taken a stand now. They're holding firm on that 12.5. Game we love, Saints +3, +3.5. I knew that would be the pro side. It's going to be interesting what happens now. We just got word before the show Olave is going to miss this game. See where that number goes. Maybe we get 4s, 4.5s. I know there's going to be some pros on the other side of this. It's just them. They basically took Atlanta at 2.5, and they've not touched it since. So it really is just, if you're getting the 3.5, that's a professional side, in my opinion, on the Saints. And, the last one, we talked a little bit about it, Minnesota. We've seen that number, a couple books get up to 7.5. It keeps coming back down. So, there is a little bit of resistance, but I hope people listened, got the 5.5, got the 6.5 on Minnesota. That was definitely the sharp side. I don't think we see it go below 7 at this point. So, yeah, it's a wonky week. I'll have maybe a little bit more calls come Sunday morning, but just with the holiday, it throws it off a little bit because most pros I know, especially professional groups, they're really focused on the college bowl games and the playoffs. Once those games are over, that's when they start taking larger positions come NFL on Saturday and Sunday. So I'll definitely have more info hopefully Sunday morning.
All right, so everyone check it out Sunday morning. We're on the air. I'm really excited about this Carolina game. We've been hitting it since it was 3.5 last Sunday. They are now 2.5 at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Simon, the Carolina Panthers are going to be our Brass Balls Bet of the Week, presented by Hard Rock Bet.
You know what it takes? It takes brass balls.
To me, it came down to this and the Chargers, and I'm glad you brought up the Chargers and sharp calls because I do want to talk about them later in the show. Really intriguing matchup to me. But I feel like we would have been doing our listeners a poor service, a disservice, if we didn't just ride with the Carolina Panthers in a spot where they are coming off a loss, they are on the road, they can fulfill their destiny that we have been predicting for 2 years of winning the dreadful, nobody cares about it, NFC South. Like, how do we not stick to our guns and go with the Carolina Panthers, especially on a trend? 3 weeks ago, we're on them. 2 weeks ago, we're off them. This week, we're on them. Let's just be consistent. Let's do everyone a service and be on the right side of history with the Carolina Panthers plus 2.5.
Yeah, we love betting history as well. Just the uniqueness of this, right? This will be, give out the stat one more time. Carolina, 7-0 against the spread after a straight-up loss, covering by over almost 12 points per game in this exact spot. Since 1990, no team has ever gone 8-0 against the spread after a straight-up loss. So, like you said, we're betting on history here. Can never avoid it. Really unique spot with this Panthers team. And, I really found it interesting just about what I gave out, that home record with Baker, just about how bad he is in this exact spot at home. And the fact that, in his career, 5-14 at home and against divisional foes, since he's moved to all these different teams. So since 2020, he's 2-12 against the spread against home divisional foes. So as a favorite, we just do not back Baker. We like to fade Baker. We like to back him as a dog. Little did we know he would be going through one of the most historical worst streaks ever against the spread. We have made money, luckily, off of it. But my God, looking back, there were so many signs that this was just a crumbling house. And the start of the year, they were so hot. They were so good to us because we were winning on them. I think we're not late to the party with this Bucs team, but, we've been a little hesitant in certain matchups to fade them. Here, we're both aligned where we're like, okay, we want to fade Baker. We really want to back the Panthers, and we said this probably should be closer to a pick. There's not much that separates these two teams at this standpoint. So the fact that you're still getting the Baker feels like tax. Like the books are still giving Baker that point and a half because he is the better quarterback. I think we're getting a steal here. Like the Panthers, coming off 54 yards by Bryce Young. Yeah, like I said, this is this exact thing he does. He plays possum. They're terrible one week. The next week he's throwing for 350 against the Rams, like a juggernaut. It's just so up and down this season. So yeah, Chad, I love that we're ending the season with our team. The Panthers give it to us plus 2.5.
Simon, we had some friends over last night. And I got a lot of comments this week from listeners about your immediate reaction when I said Rico Dowdle needs 7 yards. And you're like, no, I can't do a whole show where you're talking about this.
7 yards, yeah.
7 yards. I just want to point out, I did bet Rico Dowdle 25-plus yards rushing and parlay it with Rico Dowdle, his anytime touchdown. Because the anytime touchdown odds are about plus 117. If you parlay it with his 25-plus yards, you're getting it for plus 130. So that was my point.
Yeah, I think I had two different people walk up to me and say, "Hey, Rico Dowdle has got a bad hamstring. He might not play this week."
He's playing. He's full participant.
Well,
I checked this morning.
If the difference is 7 yards to make, what is it, $1 million in incentives? You have to take the shot. Yeah, you have to at least get 2 or 3 carries to try to get that 7 yards. I know the touchdown might be a stretch, but the 7 yards, he's got it.
I love that people were coming up to you in the book. That is just great.